I was about to post one of the other theories I had for Kingdom Hearts, but a friend of mine posted on Instagram about 4 days ago about how to get the ball rolling, and he literally rolled a ball. And I just saw him again today at my job. I miss him. I miss working on projects with him and having fun. But he asked a question about getting the ball rolling and with the projects, and he has the motivation, but there's ADHD, and then there's all the other stuff of life and bills and blah blah blah. And so I wanted to make a video, even though it's just me walking and talking, and I could literally talk about almost anything. But I'm one to talk because I don't post a lot on my YouTube channel, but it's not like I'm not doing things behind the scenes. So I have been trying to make a video game for years now, and I feel like I haven't done anything, but I have done a lot more than I thought I'd have. I've never gotten the ball rolling this much before. It may not be at the court yet, but I'm blowing it up. I'm making sure that there's no holes. I'm rolling the ball and learning how to bounce it, learning how to dribble it, and about to learn how to shoot. And he's actually one of the people who was a founding member who actually came up with the idea of making the game, because I've been trying to make a fighting game for so long. But I don't know how to code, script. I don't know how to really make a game at all. I mean, when I was in 8th grade, we had a engineering program that said, oh, these are the people who make stuff from DreamWorks, and this is their software. But they didn't really teach me much on that, so I'm not really counting that. But despite the past, I've had like-minded people around my corner, from friends to family. Family hasn't contributed that much, but they've contributed enough. They are support, and I love them for that. They haven't contributed in the way of saying, hey, they're sitting down making a video game with me, but they're sitting down giving me ideas. They're sitting down telling me the reality of the situation, because if you don't ground yourself to the reality of the situation, then it's just a dream. And me, I'm one of the biggest dreamers out there, and I'm tired of just being a dreamer. I don't want to stop being a dreamer, because that's where my ideas come from. I don't know, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD or anything like that, but I know I talk a lot. I know that I'm always hyper or wanting to be around people, and I forget things, but then I remember everything else for some reason. But at any case, that's one of the biggest lessons is, friends and family. And friends have helped me through a lot, and they've contributed. But your friends aren't your coworkers. Your friends aren't your employees. They're your friends. They will support you in a different way. Now, I guess I'm not really making this out to be something, it's just my experience, basically. Because in my head, I've always wanted my friends and my family to be working with me on all this stuff. I've been trying my hardest to get them to, help me with the big stuff, making coding, you make the music and all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, they're not, like I said, they're not your co-workers, they're not your employees. Some of them can be, you could be making a music beat for the game with your brother or your father or your niece or whatever. It doesn't truly matter who it is. It matters of who's giving off the same energy. What are their goals? What do they want to do? And do they share that vision with you? If they have a skill that you are looking for, and you guys want to use that skill with all the other all the other things that you're doing. I'm just bringing my game into this because, there's so much to go into it, because, you have to animate it. You have to create the characters. You have to code everything. You have to make sure things line up. You got to make sure everything's, to par. What's the idea? What's the concept art? What's the characters? What's the story? What's this? What's that? Blah, blah, blah. And me, I've had to lower my expectations with it, because the biggest thing is the people. And if you don't have a lot of people, then you're just doing it by yourself. And there's not a lot of time for you to learn all these skills to make what you're trying to make. You have to dedicate yourself for it. You have the drive for it. You just don't have the time. You have to make the time. And how to make the time is trying to figure out what you do on a daily and what you're doing later on with that. Because a lot of people, especially in my generation, want to do things on their own. They want to do things together. They want to have positive vibes all the time, when you really can't, because it's, there's stress, there's annoyance, there's frustration, there's sadness, there's anger. You have to have all these to be able to make whatever you're trying to make. And I've been through it all. And once I started accepting that not everybody is going to be able to help me, even if they have my best intentions, but you got to be the one to push that out there. You got to be the one to pursue that. You got to be the one to let others know how serious you are. And people will start paying attention. Even the most unlikely people that you have ever met will start paying attention. And you guys don't have to be friends, but you do got to get the job done. Even if it's just to take a class to learn how to code, or look it up on YouTube and stuff like that. You've got to put in the work. You've got to focus on one thing, but if you have those other ideas, write them down. You've got to keep on pushing, even though you don't see those results superbly quickly. When you lower your expectations, you start to feel like it's more possible. Because I started out wanting to make the most cool, extravagant fighting game, but I had to lower my expectations. I can't make a full game. I know I can't specifically, but I know people who can. I know I have friends who are willing to help me draw, because I draw. You see a lot of my stuff on YouTube, but you also see the fact that I also make my own music with my stepfather in a lot of my videos in the past. And the three ones that I usually use for mostly all my videos, which I need a new one, because hearing the same thing over and over again kind of gets repetitive. Excuse me. But so I started thinking of making, just a very small game that's kind of like Street Fighter. And it's like, the first like Street Fighter 2, where there's not a lot of characters in the roster and all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But it still wasn't working, because it also didn't feel like the game I wanted to make, But I had to accept that. It might not be the first version might not be the way that I want it to be, and that's okay. But at least I learned something from it. Once you start learning something, you start to feel comfortable doing that thing. Because right now you're scared. I'm scared. I don't really like talking about my game in public like that, even though I talk to everybody about it. But putting it online means the whole world knows about it. People can steal it. People can say they don't like it. It's the same thing you get when you were in school, where people would just think one thing about you. You guys could say it's my nose. You guys could say it's the zits on my face or something like that, or the way my hair is, or my beard, whatever. And that's discouraging, and it's scary. It's something that you have had in your experience of when you do show and tell. So basically you just got stage fright. I know I do. But I've had to look past those fears and keep on pursuing. That's why I'm talking to you guys right now. And a lot of this is just me ranting about the situation. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm still scared. But I won't let that fear keep me down. I can't. Because I'm so sick and tired of looking at my pieces of paper. I mean, that's what happened when I was an artist, just starting out after I got out of high school. because my art was just black and white, and I got sick and tired of it. So I started inking. I was sick of it being just black and white and inked. So I started coloring. I hated the way it was just a piece of paper. It was just a drawing. So I ended up learning how to animate because I wanted to watch my art move. And the next step was just making an anime or making a video game, and that's what I want to do. I want to make my art into what it can be. I don't want it to just be in my head anymore. I'm so sick of it being right here all the time, and I can't touch it with my hands all the time. I can't see other people enjoying it, which I do, don't get it twisted, but that's not the way I want it to be. I want everybody to be able to play this game and say, oh, it's cool, or oh, it's bad, or oh, this needs to be some touch-ups, because that is what community is. Some people aren't going to like it. I've accepted that. Some people don't think it should exist. I've accepted that too, but I'm still doing it. Why? Because I want to. I've got all the other stuff. I've got a car. I've got a house I'm renting. I've got a dog, which she's over here just having fun. I've got a cat. And I've got the knowledge and experience and the time. Sometimes I'm just tired. I got to be like, okay, I accept it. I have to accept the fact that I can't work on it right now because I got to worry about me. I got to worry about my family. I have to. And it takes people like my wife, like my siblings, like my friends, like my coworkers, like my bosses. They all have to help remind me to slow down, or help remind me to get back into it, or they need to make sure that I'm still there. Because if I'm like still, like focus on this particular thing, which is my game, then it's never not gonna be just a daydream. Because to be perfectly honest, it's something new and I'm excited for it. I'm tired of it at the same time, but I'm okay with being tired with it because I'm really excited, because I'll start making more drawings of the game characters, making figures. We can do that stuff now. I mean, this world of possibilities, we can do all that, and that's what really excites me, because like you go on YouTube and there's like people like, oh, buy my shirt, buy my merch and stuff like that. When you see it, you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll get one shirt. But when it's your own thing, you feel excited because you're like, I can do it better. You're like, oh, that's actually a good idea. And you do it in your own way. And you can have friends, you can have your family, you can have coworkers or whomever be like, hey, this is actually a cool idea. Let me help you out. And, you give them a little bit of credit there, and, you continue to press on. Now you've also learned connections. You've learned how to do it on your own. You don't have to have all these other people with you at that moment anymore, because now you're doing it with, you're learning how to do it on your own, because a lot of the people want to do it on their own. They're like, nah, I want to do it by myself. You hear this entire conversation is me saying that I have not been doing this alone. In the beginning I was, and then when we finally got something concrete, me and my friends started talking about it, and it actually felt like a possibility, and I have not stopped the momentum on that. Sorry, I'm just, you see me, I'm pacing back and forth in my backyard. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if it'll ever become nothing or anything. That's why I'm making an alpha version. Just the way the gameplay is, with a dummy character, and the way that the gameplay is going to be and how it's going to be on the stages, and see if I can get some people to actually enjoy the idea of the game, because I've got the ideas. I've got everything I want for the game. I just don't I have the ideas and everything that I want for the game, but I just don't have the experience to put it all together because I can barely do one of those things. Right now, I'm just doing artwork. Right now, I'm doing the story. And right now, I'm discussing how the gameplay works and how I want it to. And it actually has been going pretty well. And right now, we're in the music process of it, even though it's not really happening because right now I can't do any music and I've just been focusing on the story, trying to get all the funding and all the other stuff. And I'm sorry that this came to be a rant about my game and everything, but I feel like that makes what I'm trying to say even more, closer to the chest. Because there's so much work that goes into it. If you don't put in the work for anything, then like I said before, it's just a dream. I don't want to put this in some notebook and put it in a dresser and just forget about it. I want it to be a thing. I want it to succeed. I want this to be where when I have kids one day, they'll be getting the money based off of this game franchise that I had created with all my friends or all my coworkers or whomever they are. Have my own studio, have my own logos, all that stuff. It's difficult, but it's there. And you just got to get out of your own way. Because to be perfectly honest, I still have a 9-to-5 job and I still go talk to my mom and I love her to death. And I still go and chat with my brothers and my sisters and my nieces and my nephews and my in-laws. I still have a life outside my dream because it's not everything. It's just a part of it. And before it becomes my main job, I'm still, just me. Because you just get that one opportunity, which will have multiple opportunities, but you just need that one opportunity to see your thing and it'll trigger that someone was interested, even if it doesn't go well. Because every failure, people see failure as the end all be all, but that's not it at all. A failure is an experience, a failure to do what you thought that this idea would do. No, when they say the definition of insanity, that's not what this is. You are learning. You did not understand how to code and you failed to put the codes in right. All right, now you started learning how to code and it's a lot better, but now it's just buggy. Okay, now you started putting new things in there and now it's actually running well, but for some reason your character keeps sliding off the map. All right, how to code that or how to program that or how to stop your character from sliding off the screen. Just because you fail doesn't mean you haven't learned anything. It doesn't mean you aren't winning in your own way. It's a slow burn. And yes, it's gonna hurt. When people say blood, sweat, and tears, they're not lying. But what the parts that people don't understand is the fact that you have to make these choices. You have to take these chances. It's like opening up a test and that you have studied for and you still get a 75, even though you felt like you studied really hard. It's okay because your nerves are a big part of it. Your feelings are a big part of it. The way you hold yourself, the confidence you feel in that thing, everything you say, everything you do is going to be part of the process. But at any case, I feel like y'all can do it. I know that I've got 152 subscribers and it might go down, it might go up. And the thing is, I appreciate y'all for being patient with me. And I appreciate y'all for listening. Because I can't promise anything, but I can say that videos will start coming more and more. Maybe not consistently, but I do want to start uploading again. And I want to start uploading things that I feel confident in. And not just, when I just post a video. I don't want to just post a video anymore. I want to post the things that I wanted to talk about, the things I wanted to speak to you guys about. So I want to do that. I want it to be where we're having conversations about it. Puppy's playing with the dog across the street. Well, not across the street, on the other side of the gate. But yeah. Honestly, that's all I can really say at the moment. But please, please, enjoy yourself. Make that video. Even if you don't know how, just make a video discussing why you're making this particular video. Maybe people in the comment section, maybe people on Discord, maybe people will just recommend you a video in general, and you'll start learning how to make that video, have the confidence to be on camera, or having the confidence to upload in general. Because when I posted my little short the other day, I was nervous because, well, it's been a while and not a lot of people are going to care about what I have to say, even though it was about Kingdom Hearts. So y'all just keep on doing y'all's thing. And remember, it's okay to be scared, but just don't let yes, I'm wearing Crocs. Don't let the fear stop you from moving forward, okay? Don't let it stop you from moving forward.